Boucher, the new coach in Ottawa. Guy Boucher, Ottawa. French. I'm not so sure I like that.
Check. How's that, Benny? Sounds good to me. All right. Thanks, Benny. Yeah, really good. Yeah, just the other one, a little bit older.
It'll be better in 2.5 hours, Benny.
What's that? Oh, yeah? So now we're what? Fourth. Are we? Oh. Right, but is it United in fourth? I think United's fourth. The Wenger position. Forever fourth. Forever fourth. Is there any hope? I mean, honest to God. Leicester City just won the Premiership, for God's sake. They did. People ask me how to compare that to something in North America. I'm like, it would be like an American League team having the best record in the NHL. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, it's not the Miracle on Ice. That was one game. This is a whole season. Like, and having the best record in the league.
And assigned by the International Ice Hockey Federation. The referees of the game are
Yeah, who got fired as a coach by Greece because they lost to the Faroe Islands.
The linesmen are and
That's awesome. They lost to the Faroe Islands.
сегодняшнего матча. Судьи Международной Федерации Хоккея, главные судьи Томас Бьорк и Питер Гепей, генеральные судьи Глеб Лазарев и Джадсон Риттер. The starting lineup for Team Slovakia. Goalkeeper. Вратарь. Сборной команды Словакия. Номер 33. Number 33. Julius Gudacek. Defender. Защитники. Number 8. Номер 8. Михал Серсен. Number 14. Номер 14. Андрей Мезараш.
Guy Boucher was the top choice for the coaching job since he did.
Number 56, number 56, Marco Danio. Number 83, number 83, Martin Bakash. The starting lineup for Team France. Стартовый состав команды Франции. Goalkeeper, вратарь, number 39, номер 39, Кристобаль Уэ. Defenders, защитники, number 18, номер 18, Йоан Виту.
Welcome back to St. Petersburg, Russia. The third game of the day has the Slovaks taking on France. Julius Hudacek gets the start for the Slovaks. He was the backup in game number 1. And Cristobal Huet allowed 2 goals on 29 shots and a shootout win. I guess Germany gets his second straight start for the French. So the Slovaks were beaten by France in the last meeting in 2014 by a score of 5-3. Try to continue their momentum after a 4-1 win against Hungary, a game which they did not play especially well. Ray in the first half found themselves tied at 1 and in some trouble, then legged it up to a 4-1 victory.
Yeah, they got when they needed something to happen, it came from a couple of their relatively few NHL players. Thomas Jurko and Andrei Sekera each had a goal and an assist late in the first period, early in the second period, and that was enough for them.
Andre Mazzaro's a long shot that floats wide. France is the home team in this game, has the last change. Denis Travachet reaching for it, was just added to the French roster a couple of days ago. They've had a couple of injuries to their defense corps.
He must be exhausted. He was injured himself. Played a lot in the first game, and now he's got to reload and get back out here again. He's already changed. That's 30 seconds, and off he's gone.
Anthony Manovier, the longtime captain of the French team, has been injured as well. So the French have had two forwards playing defense in this tournament. By the way, Ray, can you count to 5 in French?
There was a time. I know the French can't count to 5
Well,
in
they had
French.
trouble. 3 times called for too many men.
And then
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shouldn't be that tough, but
6 was the problem. Well, they weren't even close. I mean, oh, look out.
And they bust in. Perret alone. In, shoot, scores! Jordan Perret. 1 minute and 9 seconds in, and gives France the lead.
An assist in the first game for Perret. The 21-year-old had 8 goals in the French league. They get a huge break as they're just clearing the puck out of the zone. And it bounces off Marinson's stick between he and Sekera. Has just lofted up by Gregory Baron. There's one of those forwards move to defense scored that you were talking about. And Perret zips this under the arm of Hudacek. France a quick 1-0 lead.
Assisted by number 46, Gregory Baron.
So an early start for the French now. France is 9th straight year in the April. Won 1 game last year. UA makes a stop there. 12th last year, 8th the year before. Now scooped up by Marek Bartanis for the Slovaks. The top 3 scorers in the French league this year were all Canadians, led by former Washington draft pick Maxime Lacroix. Jonathan Janil has it back for the French. And here's Tim Bozon, son of longtime French National League player Philippe Bozon, who's doing TV here for the French. It's called offside of the line. Bozon is a draft pick of the Montreal Canadiens, played the American League for them this year.
Once Perret gets clean, he's got his head up. And then the mini slapper that goes underneath the arm of the goaltender Hudacek. You see the French, Dave Henderson, the longtime coach. Very happy as his club gets out first. They had a late power play goal to tie in their first game, and then a shootout win. Damien Fleury with a rocket.
Fleury would be the most dangerous of the French goal scorers. The top scorers in the German league this year. As it's fired down by Valentin Farao, who had one of the goals for France in that win over Germany. So a 2-point win for the French. Germany got 1 point for the shootout loss. Interesting enough that Kielmeyer, the German goaltender, gets a loss and a goal allowed on the shootout winner. But Cristobal Huet is not going to win. Shot fired wide by Patrick Lushnak, who scored in that win over Hungary. And Damien Fleury, by the way, who scored the shootout winner, gets credited for a goal on the stat sheet. And a long drive, this time taken by Michael Simpson. That's stopped by UA. Zino Seibert, his first year as the head coach of the Slovak men's national team. Longtime national team player, played in the National Hockey League for 7 years. Dave Henderson's been in France for the better part of the last 40 years. Went there as a player in 1975 and has never left. His 12th year as the head coach of their men's national team. Henderson will often make a tour of North America. Touch base with French players playing there as UA makes that save on the long drive. Another one on the shot by Marc O'Donnell. Jared Belmar, late add to their roster for the Philadelphia Flyers, is one of the players he visited. Couldn't get Antoine Roussel, who's still active with the Dallas Stars, and who had quite an intriguing World Championship last year. He found himself a frequent visitor to the penalty box.
The emotional Roussel, we've seen him in the playoffs have some really good moments. Also a game where he had 3 minor penalties. Had all kinds of trouble staying on the right side of the law in last year's tournament.
Underway this hour in Moscow, Sweden and Denmark play. And loose puck scooped up by Slovakia. Martin Rivai, number 10. Former Quebec League star for Gatineau. Under coach Benoit Gros. And there's Rivai with it. Montreal drafted, throws it in front for Dano. It trickles down the way. And he's laying onto it.
Marco Dano had a couple of shots in the opener. I thought he played quite well against France. Rivai is a slick little player. 4th round draft choice by Montreal in 2013. And he and Dano hook up for this chance. Nicely defended in front by Avitu. UA jumps on the loose puck.
Martin Marinto with a long drive. It kicks off a skate and goes wide. Libor Hudacek plays it back and takes the return pass. The brother of the Slovak goaltender plays it across, and Sakara scores! Andrei Sakara with a long range shot that beats Cristobal UA, and the game is tied at 1.
Second goal in 2 games for Sakara. He one-times this shot. Nice cycle work here and a strong play along the boards to keep it alive by Viadensky. The puck ends up across to Sakara, and you see UA react to it late as it went past 2 French players. Nobody gets the block. Nobody out of the way that UA can see it, and it's 1-1.
So 2 goals in the first 4 minutes of the first period.
Was scored by number 2.
And it's a 1-1 tie.
Assisted by number 79.
That pass.
Libor Hudacek.
This is the target. As he was looking for Charles Bertrand, the faceoff comes back down to the French zone.
Really strong play on the boards by Viadensky, we mentioned it. Hudacek slides it across, and it's right on the tee to Sakara, and that shot gets UA deep in the crease. You know, he hadn't picked it up yet because he was as deep as he was, and it zips by his blocker. Outside of the bounce on the breakaway for the French, the puck's been in their zone most of the early portion of this first period.
Gravetsky tried to bank that out, and now moved out by Thomas Marchenko. Sasha Troy, number 77, had it knocked down. And here's Gregory Bell all back to pick it up. Both teams changing here, 5 minutes into the first period. France and Germany will co-host next year's World Championship in Paris and Cologne, so they cannot be relegated this year. Slovakia's had intermittent success in the World Championship, highlighted by their 2002 gold medal. After they, as you said, got the shortest of all short sticks in Olympic qualifying just months earlier in Salt Lake City when their NHL players were not able to compete because the NHL season was still ongoing. Lost in the qualification, did not take part in those Olympics.
They lost with a bunch of players that weren't going to play in the Olympics anyway. It was a crazy decision.
Long shot taken by Schweiner, he goes wide. And just months later, they captured the World Championship. Won a silver in the Worlds as well in 2012. Marco Dano with it. Up there by Trebuchet. That battle continues. And we've got a penalty coming. Being called by the trail official. It's going to go against France as Teddy Trebuchet goes off. And the Slovaks are going on the power play. It's a boarding call against Trebuchet.
I guess they call it boarding. I would have, if it was anything, it was a high stick to clip Dano in the in the shield. Dano, a pretty sturdy player.
My grandmother used to say that. Was she trying to be nice to him? He's a sturdy fellow.
Well, I don't know that that's exactly what I meant, although
Low to the ground.
there is some thought that Dano could be a little sleeker.
Mazaros plays it across and a hard shot taken there by Martin Bakos for the Slovaks.
Dano's a good player, picked up in the trade for Andrew Ladd, traded twice already.
The first round pick of Columbus, he winds up going to Chicago in the deal that sent Brandon Saad back to the Blue Jackets, and then goes to Winnipeg in the trade that sent Andrew Ladd to Chicago.
Another young forward in Winnipeg.
Rivai back for Mazaros. Martin Rivai, quarterback of this Slovak power play, takes the return pass from Dano back for Mazaros. Now across to Sirson. Down low he finds Thomas Yurko, the Detroit Red Wings. Mazaros to Rivai, that diagonal pass missed everyone. Yurko picks it up. And now Yurko juggles it, plays it back in the corner. French unable to clear as it's picked up by Yurko. Under a minute to go now in the Slovak power play. Play back for Mazaros. And Rivai unloads a shot. That goes off the outside of the goal. And now Saakashvili races to it for France. And sends it down. (4-1) the shots on goal in favor of Slovakia. The French have scored their only shot. As Yurko brings it up. Thomas Yurko has a look. Scored in the first game against Hungary. Now Wiedenski. Down for Yurko, skipped away, and Pierre Belmar has it back for France. Belmar, the Philadelphia Flyers. In across the line. Looks for Claro. Now Belmar racing to it. But knocked down there by Wiedenski. And Andre Sekera has it back. Sekera signed a 6-year, $33 million free agent deal with Edmonton last summer. It wasn't that long ago he was the whipping boy in Buffalo. He seemed to be the person that they hung all the losing on.
Played well in Carolina.
Yeah.
Traded to LA. The first-round pick somewhere, that was a couple of years ago, and unrestricted free agent, and hit it big in Edmonton.
Chipped up by Juraj Mikuš. And now played back down to the Slovak zone where Hudacek leaves it for Drevetsky. Vladimir Drevetsky plays for Trinets in the Czech League. Plays it around. Drevetsky back on it. Up there by Saakashvili. And a loose puck in front for a moment. Now picked out, and the centering pass by Mark Martinez was knocked away. And the puck kept alive by Juraj Mikuš. Jorik Trey back to center ice. The Slovaks are changing. And that gives Saakashvili time to bring it ahead. Along with Sasha Trey. Saakashvili shoots. That's kicked away by Hudacek, and the puck goes over the glass and out of play. 1-1 the score here in the first period in St. Petersburg. Andre Sekera, the 29-year-old, in the Olympics twice for the Slovaks, his 6th World Championship, 2 World Juniors as well. Scored 6 times in 81 games for Edmonton this year. Always known for having a good shot, was part of that Slovak team that played so well in the Vancouver Olympics, finishing in 4th place. Tries to play it out. Bozon lost it. And Yaros has it back for the Slovaks. Christian Yaros lost it to Bozon. That's a Troy, though, can't play it out. Lushnak throws it right back in for the Slovak. Still no score between Sweden and Denmark in Moscow. Had lots of late goals and comebacks there earlier today. Switzerland tied the game against Norway with 10 seconds to go.
They've had a busy side over there.
Yes,
this one's gone kind of according to plan, I think. But
Norway, though, won the game in overtime on a power play goal, but the Swiss get a point out of that loss. Christian Yaros back for it.
It's a long way to 7 points that way.
Yeah. Well, one at a time. Seven game round robin. Chip away, chip away. That was Daryl Sutter's theory when the NHL adopted the shootout. He wanted his team to go 0-82. All the losses in overtime or shootouts make the playoffs.
So I assume Daryl was not a large fan of the...
No, he's not a huge proponent of that. The Sutters, of course, like their hockey the old way. Revive back with it. The first time Brent Sutter got a load of international officiating was quite something to see. That's a penalty.
And so was the next one.
Yes, and so was that. Nine to go here in the opening period. Brought ahead by Michael Saracen, who spent a couple of years in Rimouski in Quebec, and the Quebec Major Junior League, was a 5th-round pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins. That play is called at the French line.
French really having trouble managing the puck at all, getting any zone time. They haven't had any, just the 2 shots, the goal and 1 shot from the wing. Dave Henderson always has that same sort of demeanor, doesn't he?
Like he just drinks spoiled milk.
There's something not right.
He's a terrific guy, too, and has done a lot for French hockey. He's really devoted his adult life to it.
Absolutely. What a career he's built there. You mentioned earlier, a 21-year player.
Native of Winnipeg. Now the puck brought it offside again by the French.
This is an offside-a-thon here in the early going. Early goal by Perret. Game-tying goal by Sekera. And almost no flow in the first 11 and a half minutes.
Sekera takes that return pass from former runner Martin Mernson, picked off by Belmar. Pierre Belmar works in, a backhand shot goes wide. And racing back to pick it up is Johan Ovitu. Ovitu swings it across for Belmar. For DeRosier trying to find Fleury. Damien Fleury finished 2nd in scoring in the German league this year with 25 goals. He did not finish in the top 20 in points. He went 25 and 15.
Assuming 8 of those were rebounds. He does love to shoot the puck, and can he ever release it?
Now busting in for the Slovak. Thomas Herka shoots, and a save made by UA. That's reminiscent of a Slovak, Peter Bondra, in the lockout year of 04-05. Led the league in goals, didn't finish in the top 10 in points. He had 32 and 12, something like that. And then we got a penalty coming. It's going to go to Laurent Meunier. Holding the stick will be the call. And the Slovaks will go to the power play in a tie game when we come back.
Laurent Meunier, 2 minutes penalty for holding the stick. За задержку клюшки соперника малым штрафом наказан Лорен Мунье, номер 10, команда Франции.
French captain Laurent Meunier goes off. Played college hockey in North America for UMass Lowell. And 1 year with the Florida Everblades of the IIHF. So Slovaks in the power play. Revi will take the draw. And the puck kept alive by Mazzaros. Revi back to Saracen to Mazzaros, who holds the line. Plays it across for Bakos. Now Bakos back with it. For Revi. Wines tries to find a stick right on. Yue makes the stop on the tip by Saracen. And is able to hang on. And now more pushing and shoving breaks out. Ovichu's in there.
Ovichu is getting the finger point from the official. Don't do that again, I suppose. Revive makes the slap pass into the slot to Saracen. You see Dano getting wrestled around in front of the net. The puck deflects off of Saracen. And then off Avitu, UA has to be sharp to collect the puck as it eventually works its way to him.
By the way, I want to correct something I said a moment ago, right? The lockout 94-95. Bondra had 34 goals, 9 assists. Mazzaro shoots, that's blocked, and set down the ice by Belmar.
See, now, I would like to play with a winger like that. No use giving it back. If you're going to shoot it in the net, that's okay. If you're not going to shoot it in the net, then move it over. Peter Bondra could skate. Could he shoot on the fly?
Bakos in the backhand shot, stopped by UA. Now Dano on it.
34-9, that's a good year. No fooling around. Blaine Stoughton once said he'd scored 9 goals in a row to start the year. He had 9-0, and then he scored on a rebound, and he commented that that was the end of his perfect year. He thought he could go the whole way.
Got a penalty coming down to Slovakia. Marco Dano's going to go off for interference. There was a collision during a line change in front of the French bench. So that's going to do it for the Slovak power play. Minute 3 seconds in.
The one chance that deflected around, UA was able to grab. Slovakia 0 for 2 on the power play now, and after about a minute of 4-on-4, France will get their first power play.
Baron plays it around, the puck bounces in front, Sekera picks it up and looks for Hudacek. Now Sekera to Marincin. And across the line he comes, it's 3-on-3 as two players got tied up back there for a moment. Here's Marincin walking in with time, shoots, and UA makes the stop, and there's no rebound.
UA was beaten on the point shot that he didn't see, but he's been really sharp here in the first 14 minutes as the Slovaks have carried much of the play. Marincin, who was victimized on that breakaway, the puck slapped up the ice and deflected off his stick to Perret for the breakaway. Had a good night in the first game. Picked up a couple assists, did Martin Marincin.
Seconds to go on the French penalty. And a brief power play. Graniak picks it up, walks in, winds and shoots, scores! Dominic Graniak. A 4-on-4 goal, and it's 2-1 Slovakia.
Graniak is going to get room to walk into a shooting position as the French lose cover. There's no way you should be able to walk that cleanly into the middle of the ice. And Graniak powders this one and hits the blocker of UA. Both goals on the same side on the blocker. This one about midway up the net. And the Slovaks have a well-deserved 2-1 lead.
Goal for Team Slovakia was scored by number 51, Dominic Graniak. Assisted by number 22.
Ovichu sent it in. A chance now for Bozon. Couldn't pull the trigger. Knocks it off the side of the goal. DaCosta back to Dude Favel. He lost it. Now has to retreat quickly.
Владимира Дровецкого, номер 22.
Shots are 8-2 Slovakia. French scored their first shot of the game just over a minute in.
Team France is playing as full
Now,
strength.
Meunier steps up. The French are on the power play, but Yaros has it, plays it in deep. Teddy DaCosta throws it back, and the French will reset now with 45 seconds to go in the man advantage. Shakashvili up for Fleury. Damien Fleury flips it down. There's a helmet and a stick loose in the corner. At the point, held by Baron for Belmar. Do some house cleaning first. Now Belmar picks up the loose puck, feeds it right in front. DeRosier with a chance, turned away in tight by Hudacek. And Bartanis, tripped by Shakashvili. Play stays onside, but now Mazzaros flips it out. Damien Fleury winds his way in, and Dano steps back on the ice for the Slovaks. 4.5 to go here in the opening period. 2-1, Slovakia leads France. Slovakia will play Germany on Tuesday. France will play Hungary that day. And the puck bounces down, hung on to by Cristobal Huet.
Dominic Graniak has just given Slovakia a 2-1 lead. Look how much room he has to come from the side of the circle into the middle of the ice. The French were locked on in man-on-man coverage, and as soon as two players ran together, all kinds of room for the 32-year-old Graniak to skate into the middle of the ice and beat Cristobal Huet.
We saw the close-up look at the Slovak sweaters there. We talked about uniforms earlier. Maybe the neatest feature of any team in this tournament, the striping, the light gray striping, is the words of the Slovak anthem.
That's a heck of a thought to put into the jersey.
We saw quite a scene earlier today after Canada beat Hungary decisively, and the Canadian anthem was played. The Hungarian players that went down lined up where their fans were standing. The Hungarian fans sung their anthem to them. Really something.
Now the opening game of the day, where Canada won 7-1, nobody had more fun than the Hungarian fans.
And likely still are somewhere in the dark in St. Petersburg.
I don't know, is it dark?
Well, maybe not. You know what? It's only 9 o'clock. We're pretty far north here. Apparently the Hungarians were spotted in the beer garden recently.
Which wouldn't be a big deal, except the game ended 5 hours ago.
Yes. Bartanos tries to center. That's knocked away by Ovichu. 3.5 to go here in the period. Sacha Troy and his brother York, teammates on this French team. And Bozon goes back. Bozon had a scary bout of meningitis a few years ago while playing in the Western Hockey League. Has recovered from that and is reclaiming his career. Played this season, we mentioned, for St. John's in the American Hockey League, Montreal's top affiliate. And Marchenko sends it down now for the Slovaks. Claro back for it. And Baron. Moved ahead by Ritz, a long drive, and that's saved by Hudacek. He'll hang on. And a late touch there by Teddy DaCosta drew some attention. DaCosta, the brother of Ottawa Senators prospect Stefan DaCosta, who spent a couple years in North America, then returned home. And if you haven't heard yet, the Ottawa Senators have found their new coach, Guy Boucher, former head man in Tampa, former head coach of Montreal's American League affiliate in Hamilton.
Once the first domino, Bruce Boudreau, fell into Minnesota, all of a sudden there's an urgency for everybody. They don't want to get left on the dance floor without a partner.
So the music's starting to dwindle down here. There's only a couple of chairs left. Calgary, Anaheim. Randy Carlisle still out there.
Mark Crawford.
Mike Yeo.
Travis Green is the name from of the younger coaches in the American League.
Ray Ferraro.
One day maybe.
That'd be good to see, actually.
That was a thought at one time, but the ship has long sailed on that. I do miss the wins and losses. I really do. Although from what I understand from people that are in management, the wins don't equal the losses.
No, one win does not equal one loss, unfortunately. Belmar in, shoots. He whistled that on goal, and it looked like Hudacek got a piece of it on the way by. Now a centering pass where he couldn't quite reach it. Bakos heads it back for the Slovaks. Martin Bakos backhands that in. Back to pick it up is Belmar. Fleury. In with DeRosier. Damien Fleury gets a chance. Ian shoots. And Hudacek makes the save on him.
Hudacek looks a little bit like Thomas Vokoun in the net. Catches with the same hand, slides around on his knees the way Vokoun did. What a competitor Thomas Vokoun was for a lot of years in the NHL. As there, Hudacek's able to swallow up Fleury's wrist shot.
Ovechkin for Yorick Trey. Centers it. And Bertrand couldn't quite reach it. On back now to the French zone, and Ovechkin has it. Plays for IFK Helsinki, the Finnish Elite League. Ovechkin ahead for Yorick Troy. And Ovechkin back to back in the Slovak zone. For players from countries like France and Hungary, this game has to be an overriding passion. It's just so hard to find a place to play, to grow up playing it. Long distances usually involved, separation from home.
Right, if you're going to have a pro career,
not going to be in your backyard.
No, the chances are you're going to have to go find it.
Final minute now in the opening period. And Rinson slides it ahead for Hudacek. Libor Hudacek comes in, lost the puck for a moment. Bertrand has it back. That pass missed Shakishvili. And Shakishvili throws it right towards the goal, and UA has to knock it away. Bertrand on the other side, back towards the goal again.
The breakout doesn't need to be so complicated.
See, you could be a coach.
Yeah, head that way.
Count to 5 and go that way.
That's it. There's page 1 of the book.
Have the right number of people on the ice and go towards the right end. There's a long shoot, and it'll be icing against the French. And the argument was about whether or not that icing race was negated in the hybrid icing rule. And they're going to say it was. Center ice face-off.
We called the tail end of the, or at least I did, the tail end of the previous game scrambled eggs. And that's pretty much this period here.
Or maybe more pro, a fallen souffle.
Yes.
Wrap around try by Claros. Stopped on the short side by Hudacek. As time expires, and now sticks are up. Yaros took a pop there. And there'll be penalties here at the end of the period, but maybe more than that as Valentin Claros got his stick up. And remember, everything is subject to review for the disciplinary panel, so there can be supplementary discipline handed out. 2-1, the Slovaks lead France. 20 minutes in the books. Here's the World Hockey Championship in St. Petersburg.
After first period, Team Denmark leads 1-0.
Team Slovakia, number 62, Christian Jarosz, 2 minutes penalty for roughing. Team France, number 12, Valentin Claros, 2 minutes penalty for roughing. Teams are playing with equal strength. За грубость малым штрафом каждый наказанный игрок команды Словакия. Номер 62 Кристиан Ярош. Игрок команды Франции Валентин Клеро. Номер 12. Score of the first period. Счет после первого периода. France 1, Slovakia 2. Франция 1, Словакия 2. Shots on goal on the first period. Slovakia 9, France 9. Броски по воротам в первом периоде. Словакия 9, Франция 9.
Кем бы мы ни были, чем бы ни увлекались, что бы ни любили и что бы любили не очень, наступает момент, когда все уходит на второй план и нас объединяет одно. Это наша игра, потому что хоккей в каждом из нас. Спорт, где все относятся к своему делу по-особенному. И болельщики, и хоккеисты. Здесь каждый старается изо всех сил, укладывается на полное. Поэтому мы поддерживаем чемпионат мира по хоккею уже много лет. И вкладываемся в тех, кто вкладывается. Райфайзенбанк. Разница в отношении.
Introducing the 2016 IIHF app. Player statistics. Team statistics. Live updates. And introducing Hockey Cards. Your face, your team, your car. Share it with hockey fans across the world. From any smart device, in your own language. The 2016 IIHF app, powered by Skoda.
Skoda. Simply clever.
Pirelli. I0.
Новая шина Pirelli i0 с уникальной технологией двойного шипа Dual Stat. Отличное сцепление и торможение на льду. Зимние шины Pirelli. Будь готов к русской зиме. Pirelli.
I0.
Наш лед. Наша скорость. Наша надежность. Наш характер. Наша поддержка. Наши победы. Это наша игра. Это наш хоккей. И это у нас не отнять. Ингосстрах. Официальный партнер чемпионата мира по хоккею 2016 года.
Welcome back to St. Petersburg, Russia. Day 3 of the 2016 World Hockey Championship. France trailing Slovakia 2-1. Valentin Claro and Christian Jaros both assessed penalties at the end of that first period for the shoving match that broke out. And Claro unloaded a pretty good right hand with a glove on Jaros that might draw some attention later.
Last time there was a 4-on-4, Granyak scored for Slovakia to give them the 2-1 lead. That was off a face-off play. Both Slovak goals beat Cristobal Ue on the blocker side. After Perret had given the French a 1-0 lead just about a minute into the first period.
Kovacic looks for Belmar. The pass too far for him. Pierre-Edouard Belmar, longtime player in the Swedish league, signed out of this tournament by the Philadelphia Flyers a couple of years ago while playing for France. Played for a powerhouse franchise, Skellefteå, in the Swedish league. That's been to the Swedish finals now 5 years in a row. Under Mazaros plays it around for Michael Sersen. Plays for Bratislava in the KHL. Bratislava, Slovakia, has a team in that league. He's had some financial issues over the years. Has been talking whether or not they'll stay in the KHL.
KHL's an interesting deal right now, isn't it? There's so much political complications to it. Never mind just the hockey.
Meunier turned the puck over, fired wide by Thomas Jurko. And Sakara steps up, banks it off the end boards. Because after his own shoot-in, Baron spins back for the French. Meunier. Barrel over there by Hudacek. And now Baron has it back. Across to Shakishvili. Orion Shakishvili sends it ahead, and that shot by Bertrand, or Perret rather, lifted high and wide and banks back down to the French zone. Damien Rowe picks it up, opened the scoring against France yesterday. Now knocked in by Sacha Troy. And that play is called for a hand pass in the offensive zone by France.
Abatu plays a lot for the French. As you mentioned earlier, Gord, they're down on their defensemen a little bit. Got a couple of forwards playing back on the blue line, and there's one of them, Damien Rowe, who scored the initial goal of the tournament for the French yesterday.
Rowan across the line. Backhands it around. Tim Bozon. In a battle for it. Sacha Troy joins it as well. Bozon picks it out. Penalty coming now to Slovakia. Just as the two offsetting penalties expire. The French about to go on the power play here. Bozon to Troy. Back to Rowe. Kovacic, a long shot, ticks off a stick and wide. The Slovaks touch up. And the penalty will go against Dominic Granyak, the Slovak goal scorer, as the French got a power play 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the second period.
See, Granyak is battling on the boards and eventually wraps up the French forward, and France with a chance to tie it again on the power play. Their shooter again is number 9, Damien Fleury.
2 minutes penalty for holding.
They'll look to find him.
Starts back at the point. Belmar to take the face-off. And he wins it cleanly. Back to Kovacic. Set up for Belmar. To the goal line. DeRosier throws that right through the crease. And Fleury has it back. Kovacic back for Fleury. Walks in, waits and winds. Kovacic now to Fleury. On the hash mark, shoots. That's wide of the goal. DaCosta down to DeRosier. And DaCosta holds it again. Feeds across for Belmar. Belmar shoots, partly blocked there by Saracen for the Slovaks. And Belmar has it back. Belmar centers it to Costa, back to Belmar to the goal line for DeRosier. To Belmar. Ovitu. Back to Belmar. Fleury trying to get open. Belmar walks in. Back down to the goal line. The DeRosier spins and shoots. And Hudacek makes the save.
DeRosier likes that play. That's 3 times he tried it. And all of a sudden, the mask of Julius Hudacek is gone. He's got it in his hands now and trying to make some repairs. There's DeRosier. He's trying to go up on the short side. And that catches Hudacek. You see him right away. He throws his right arm in the air. So that almost guaranteed that puck hit where the buckle is on his right chin. Get your glasses on there, Mr. Trainer. And
find that, whatever it is you're looking for.
I think it's called the doohickey.
Is that the technical term for it?
Yes, it is. I always love watching the trainers do their thing because you know they're nervous. They know they're under the gun here. They got to get going.
Well, because at a certain point, the referee's going to say to Hudacek, you got to go off.
Well, in the NHL playoffs in Long Island the other night, Thomas Greiss broke his blade.
Right.
And they gave him a few minutes to work on it, and all of a sudden, here comes JF Berube. They must have said, okay, enough. You got to go and fix it. So Berube, who's sitting there in a ball hat for the last 3 weeks, goes into a playoff game.
With no thought whatsoever, not like they were down and the goalie got pulled or got hurt. He's just...
In you go, and they had to get back to the locker room and fix Greiss's skate.
Here's Baron to Bozon. Bozon, born in St. Louis. Crisscrossing there with Sacha Troy. Back to Baron. To Troy. Works in, drops it down. Here's Bozon on the goal line. Baron to Shakashvili. In and shoots. And Hudacek makes the stop.
Decent traffic in front of Hudacek as Shakashvili shoots the puck. Traoré is standing on top of the crease, but when that puck's delivered to the net, the French have to crowd it more, get another body to the net. Right now they stand around the outside too much around the dots and really kind of take themselves out of the advantage of having an extra man.
Denmark still leading Sweden 1-0 on a power play goal by Nikolai Ehlers in the first period. Another young Winnipeg Jet.
Norway won earlier, correct?
Norway, yes, beat Switzerland 4-3. Wasn't sure where we were going. Oh, of course, because...
Yeah, see, I'm following these two countries very closely.
Norway and Denmark, for some reason, are living rent-free in your head. They've crossed your wires.
And all good, they're both wearing red jerseys today, too. He said, I'm so glad Shane Knighty's got to deal with that. Shane and Dennis, I'm sure, are doing a wonderful job with it. I'll just worry about the French and the Slovaks.
Time it there by Marinson. 15 seconds to go in this power play. And it's pounded down the ice by Vladimir Gravetsky. Swinging back to pick it up is Gregory Baron. Plays for Amiens in the French league. Among the well-known players who played in France over time, both Jacques Lemaire and Bob Gainey spent some time in the French league at the end of their careers.
They must have really opened up the league, huh?
Check. Pizarro's winds and shoots. It gets through the traffic. And Yue makes the stop.
It's funny, Jacques Lemaire is known mostly to the fans of a certain age today as the defensive-minded coach and really locked things down in Minnesota and New Jersey. And while he was a two-way center in Montreal, he put up some pretty big numbers.
One of the great shots of his day. And right off the face-off, a chance there for Slovakia's Libor Hudacek, turned away by Yue.
I knew Jacques had lost me when he referred to Wes Walz as a 50-goal scorer.
No, 50-goal man.
50-goal man, you're right.
Yeah. Belmar walks in, shoots, fires it wide. Score 15, prevent 35. 50-goal man.
See, I was like an 85-goal man. There were things happening all over the place.
Score 50, give up 35.
Well, sometimes it wasn't even score 50. There was lots going on.
Bianetsky works in with Yurko, feeds across. Yurko in, shoots, an off-balance shot, and he ripped it wide.
Yurko had to hang in there pretty well. That puck got into his feet. And he had a goal and an assist in the opener, and he almost had another one here.
Miku shrink wide, going for Dravetsky, and Yue out to play it. Cristobal Yue playing in his 12th World Championship for the French. Played for LA, Montreal, Washington, Chicago in his National Hockey League career. DaCosta drops it back and fired ahead by Trebuchet. There's an icing call against the French.
There's the Detroit Red Wings, Thomas Yurko. His 4 goals this year in 44 games. Really has had trouble the last couple of years getting some traction. The passes on his backhand, and he shows the hands that Detroit feel are there, that there is more offense there. He takes it on his backhand, spins it to his forehand, just shoots it wide. But Yurko has just not been able to lock down a spot in the Detroit lineup.
Vikush winds and shoots, that just missed the head of Bartanis. Goes up and out of play. Robert Rosen has scored for Sweden to tie that game against Denmark in the second period, 1-1. Shots are even at 12 in this game. Even at 3 here in the period. Look how Stastny's blade breaks, goes way up in the air. He goes off, and Sasha Troy plays it around for Bozon.
Well, this broken stick now is all the way down at the far blue line. Oh, the linesman finally cleans it up.
At the French line, played ahead for Didier Favel. Race for it now. Picked up by Stastny. He finds Lushnak working in on Perron, centers it, and Bozon sweeps back to pick it up for the French. Up ahead to Jordan Perret, works in. Perret with a head of steam, gets loose and then slammed into the inboards by Christian Yaros rather.
And that's a penalty for Yaros?
A penalty for Yaros, yeah, with 13-11 to go in the second period.
Team Slovakia, number 62, Christian Jarosz, 2 minutes penalty for interference. За атаку соперника, не владеющего шайбой, малым штрафом наказан игрок команды Словакия, Christian Jarosz, номер 62.
We are happy to welcome young hockey lovers under care.
So an interference penalty to Christian Yaros with 13-11 to go in the second period puts France back on the power play. Yaros didn't like the call.
That's a penalty that's not getting called at home. For France with another chance here on the power play. They haven't wanted for opportunity here, just have not capitalized really or come close on it.
And have had trouble putting sustained pressure on the power play. Lovachu, who quarterbacks it with the back end. Looks ahead for DeRosier, that pass just missed Belmar. And Belmar takes a hard run to the inboards from Michael Searson. DeRosier trying to pick it up. Up the way, another penalty coming up.
That's DeRosier.
Yeah, DeRosier's going to get it here. And that'll do it for the power play, 28 seconds in.
A couple of times the power play has dissipated on a penalty. DeRosier fishing around for the puck here.
Team France, number 42.
Oh, his stick actually gets stuck in the back of his skate, where the lip on the back of the skate goes on the outside of his calf. It gets stuck in there. He can put it in there again if he tried.
Intended protector.
Is that what it's called?
Apparently. Or the lip from the back.
The thing on the back of his skate.
That thing that sticks up in the back of your skate.
Maybe there to protect your tendon, but I always thought it was just there for support.
Sasha plays it back at the line. Ovitu knocks it down, but Rinson has it back, and the Slovaks break out. 3-on-2 in this 4-on-4 situation. Good to go in the first penalty of Slovakia, then a brief power play. 12 to go here in the second period. France with a shootout win opening against Germany. Slovaks beat Hungary. Slovaks finished tough in this tournament. They've got Canada, Finland, and the U.S. to close it out, so they need points now.
They're certainly not going to look at the back end of that schedule and plan to accumulate a lot. You may steal one or steal something, but these games early are vital for them.
Gregory Bell for Jurek Troja. Brings it in, a sharp angle shot, knocked away by Hudacek. Final second now, the penalty to Christian Jaros of Slovakia. And Granyak brings it out. Head for Hudacek and across on. He was poke checked. And it's knocked away by Ritz. Up ahead for Yurko. And the Slovaks now on the power play for 25 seconds. Bumped down by Svarny. Plays it across for Hudacek. Lots of traffic in front. And Svarny able to hold the line. Plays it down to Sekera. Andrei Sekera in the final second of this power play. Throws it towards the goal. A little back pass by Viedinsky. Hudacek back with it. Rosier steps back on for the French. The teams are 5-on-5. Yurko centers it. Knocked wide by Sekera. Now Yurko back on it. Sekera centers it. Yurko can't handle it. Flipped towards the goal. Kicked away by Juve. Centering pass just bounced away from Viedinsky. And Beryl hands it back. Michael Backlund scored for Sweden. 2-1 they lead now on Denmark in the second period.
With the horse Nyquist winning the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, I always thought Nyquist was a horse.
You know what his old coach Mike Babcock would say about Nyquist the horse?
What?
Good horse.
Good horse. I like good horses.
There's not many great players. Mike Babcock always referred to Nick Lidstrom as good player. And I always thought that was a bit of an understatement. By like a great.
Yeah. Jonathan Yanil. Through the middle for Belmar. Tries to shove it up for Fleury. Loose now with DeRosier. Gets free. Drops it right back in front of backhand shot. Taken there by Rowe. And turned away by Hudacek. Rowe snuck off the French bench. And now Stastny fires it wide. Andrei Stastny, not related to the famous Slovak Stastny brothers. Rinson, break wide for Sekera, walks in, winds, starts a slant pass there for Stastny, and knocked away from him. Luzhny. Back down in the corner for Stastny. And a long offensive foray here for the Slovaks. The French are having trouble getting out. Janil with it now. Brings it in slowly, backhands it down the ice. It goes off of skates. So icing is waved off, and the French can change. Jurek Troja. Lost it to Revive, brings it back the other way. Luznak shoots from a sharp angle. Off the stick of Trebuchet and wide, back at the point. Mikush. And Jurek Troja broke that up. Hudacek. Across to Granyak to Revive. Revive with Backo. Sent it towards the goal. The pass just missed Backo. Right down to Hudacek. Shoots it across to Mikush. Baron. 7.5 to go here in the second period. Swings back in the corner. Baron. But Troy skips off his stick and back up to center ice. Kovacic, long lead pass. Bozon knocks it down. He's in, shoots, and Hudacek got just a piece of that to knock it wide. His dad, Tim Bozon's dad, is sitting 4 feet to our left, calling the game for French TV.
Oh, I wanted young Bozon to score just to see what Philippe would do.
He kind of popped up halfway.
Tough to watch a kid play.
We asked him yesterday how Tim's playing. He said, pretty well when he moves his feet. Philippe, a long-time French international, also played the National Hockey League.
144 games in St. Louis.
Herka. Through the middle of Viadansky, sweeps up towards the goal, blocked by Claro. Carney steps up, shoots, and pounded that wide. Yaros to the other point. Beats it for Herka. And Yaros got put behind, sticks to Costa. And a penalty coming now to France. Costa will get it for the high stick. As Yurko got clipped. And the Slovaks from the power play when we come back.
Number 2 minutes penalty goal by Stevie. Запасной группы с свободной клюшкой малым штрафом наказан игрок команды Франции Дэви да Коста, номер 80.
Сегодня на трибунах присутствуют юные подопечные благотворительного фонда «Футболка дарит жизнь» из НИИ онкологии, гематологии и трансплантологии имени Раисы.
Tim Bozon, born in St. Louis, played this year for St. John's in the American League. 5 goals in 41 games. Some time in the East Coast League as well, or the ECHL, my apologies. 6:12 to go here in the second period. Rink wide pass goes to Bakos. And a quick shot by Bakos, just high and wide. There's Rivai on it now, the Slovak power play. Takes the return pass from Krivetsky, tried to center it, and now Rivai has it back. Fired that just wide of the goal. Krivetsky for Sirson. And Sirson back for Mazzaros. Rink wide, he goes for Rivai. Now Rivai walks it in. Back to Mazzaros, winds and shoots, and that bullet shot went just wide. Bakos back with it. Down for Drevetsky. Rivai shovels it back for Mazzaros. And Rivai works in, waits, winds. Elects not to shoot, with the unit standing in front of a one-time shot. Taken by Bakos, turned away by UA. Mazzaros shoots, Bakos back with it, spins, shoots, scores! Martin Bakos, power play goal. And Slovakia leads by 2.
Bakos, another player that we talked about, Fleury a lot for the French, who likes to shoot the puck. Bakos does too. In a couple of shots in the first game, this shot hit Shakazeli in the foot. And somehow Bakos has enough time to turn, shoot this through Genil and through UA. Genil stops to block the shot. If he goes and attacks Bakos, there's no time to shoot it. But Slovakia, after a couple of kills here in the second period, scores the power play goal. And it's 3-1.
Bakos played for the Liberec Club in the Czech League. They won the Czech Championship this year, scored 17 goals in 52 games.
Андрея Лисараша, номер 14. Шайбу забросил Мартин Бакаш, номер 83. Team France is playing at full strength.
Kovacic.
Команда Франции
Under 5
играет
to
в
go
полном составе.
in the second period. And Hudacek kind of fed in that clearing attempt. But Viadensky was standing there for the Slovaks. In comes Hudacek, now walks in, shoots, whistle that high and wide.
Nice move by Hudacek. Would have been something. The two brothers would have been in on a scoring point.
Yeah. Yurko, Hudacek in with time, scores! Cash that time, and it's 4-1.
Nice move by Hudacek. Patience after missing just moments earlier on a nice rush up the ice where he rifled it wide of the net. A goal and an assist this evening. Viadensky keeps the puck alive to Thomas Yurko, and there's Hudacek with the patience to put it in. Viadensky's had a good game, a couple assists. He intercepted the breakout pass. Yurko finds Hudacek, and quickly it's 4-1.
Was scored by number 79, Libor Hudacek.
Hudacek plays in the Swedish league for
Assisted by number
Petersburg.
25, Marek Viadensky, and number
Pronounced different in
13,
Swedish, but I can't.
Tomasz
I've tried it and I just
Jurča.
can't do
It's
it.
just not happening?
I just can't say it. It's like Anabro.
Tomasza Jurča, номер
That's not even
13.
it either.
Марка Виденского, номер 25. Шайбу забросил Libor
Busy working my Russian while I'm here in St.
номер
Petersburg.
79.
Yes, you are.
Hard shot taken by Bertanas. Dobre Verger.
Sure.
Good evening.
2 goals in 48 seconds for the Slovaks. And
Whoa,
boy.
Long shot by Shakishvili, and all of a sudden, Julius Hudacek turned that into a bit of an adventure.
But he wasn't sure if he was going to catch it or just let it hit him in the chest. And then it kept climbing on him, and he almost knocked it into his own net.
Moments after his brother had scored. Under 4 to go here in the second. Meunier wins the drawback, but it's picked off. And away comes Lushnak, steaming in. Lushnak feeds it across. And that pass broken up by Biron.
After the goal in the first minute, the Slovaks have the next 4. Even with the power play, the French have been not very dangerous offensively. Haven't had a lot of chances.
Game the French have to have is on Tuesday against Hungary. And as much as it's a fact they can't be relegated this year, the last thing they want to do is save by the bell.
Right.
The problem for them is, and for Germany, and they'll be in different pools, is they can be relegated next year. And the last thing you want is relegation when you're at home. That could set your program back years.
Right. Then you have to try and climb from the bottom again.
And just the PR disaster of it. Brought in by Travachet, shoots, and it gets down to Hudacek. He makes the stop.
Yeah, when I watch the French play, I think they skate pretty well. They can move the puck. There's just not a lot of creativity or finish to their game. And Fleury by far is their most accomplished goal scorer, but they don't create enough chances, don't create enough second chances. Seems like a lot of the work goes for naught once they get to the offensive blue line.
There's Revive. Playing for Benoit Gru and Gatineau of the Quebec Major Junior League. They had a fascinating relationship as a quick shot taken there by Nicholas Ritz.
Revive's never been known as a 200-foot player. So Benoit Gru and he had a little bit of a discussion of, if you feel like back checking tonight, you'll play on the power play, and if you don't, that's okay too. Just let me know early. And that kind of worked for him.
And you won't be on the power play.
And you won't be on the power play. Revive put up some big numbers.
He did. And Gru quick to point out that Revive played very well for him.
Absolutely.
Very productive player for him.
There was just some nights when it wasn't there. And so they figured a way out early. Good collision. They figured out a way to make it work for both of them.
Zarros and Claro collided into the French bench. Almost went in, the two of them. Jude-Favel shoots it in. And a bouncing puck gloved down by Bakos. Still 2-1 in Moscow. Sweden leading Denmark. Anyway, leaves it back there for Jude-Favel. Sakara. Moves it across for Marincin. Brought in by Rivai. Spins back at the line. Tries to play it back in deep. Knocked down by Ovichu. Puts it back to center ice. Knocked down with a high stick by DeRosier. And plays called. 2:10 to go in the second period.
3-1 at the time. Libor Hudacek misses the net, and when the French turn the puck over, Viadensky finds Yurko, and then Hudacek freezes Cristobali away and makes it 4-1.
Viadensky knocked down at the face-off. Their own plays it in for Fleury. And if the line is going to bring them back, this will be the one. Fleury sends it on goal, and Marincin clears it back out.
My goodness, there's been some adventures in the Slovak net here in the last 5 minutes. If I'm the French, get the puck at the net, get it at his feet. There looks like there's all kinds of rebounds around there. Maybe you can work your way back in here.
Sweden scored in a 5-on-3 in Moscow to take a 3-1 lead. Still in the power play there. Now Viadensky tries to shovel that out, and does, as Baron picks it up. Hudacek changed his mind there for a minute. Played the puck out of harm's way. Now Viadensky up ahead for Hudacek. To Sakara, in, shoots. There would have been another Hudacek goal there. As the goaltender played the puck ahead. Jordan Troy up for Meunier. Marchenko.
1 minute left in the second period.
Cadil unable to hold it. Final minute now of the second period. Meunier lifts it down. Two fascinating matchups tomorrow. Canada takes on Belarus at 4 o'clock local time. 9 a.m. Eastern. And then Finland against the United States. Patrick Laine, who leads this tournament in points right now, and Austin Matthews, two top prospects for the 2016 National Hockey League draft.
Laine's got 3 of his 4 goals on the power play. All of them from in that left circle somewhere. 5-on-3 one-timer, a 5-on-4 one-timer today, and a goal with about 3.5 seconds left on a pass from Mikko Koivu.
Sweden scored again, now 4-1 there, so they scored 4 power play goals rather, in the second period. Coach Ray Ferraro would say, don't take penalties against Sweden.
What we know about that is we can't kill penalties, so let's not take any. That's in page 3 of the book.
Right after having the right number of guys on the ice.
Yes.
They're going the right direction.
It's a simple book. This game is...
You wrote it.
We're not splitting atoms here. French have to find their way here and become what they haven't been through 40 minutes, and that's a dangerous or more dangerous team offensively. Get the puck, get a defenseman in the rush, try and get one in the first 10 minutes, see if you can back the Slovaks up.
3 seconds to go, a scrambled face-off. Played down the ice by Bakos, one of the Slovak goal scorers. And the Slovaks go to the dressing room with a 4-1 lead on France after 40 minutes of play on day 3 of the 2016 World Hockey Championship.
Score of the second period. France 1, Slovakia 4. Shots on goal on the second period. Slovakia 8, France 10. Счет после второго периода. Франция 1, Словакия 4. Броски по воротам во втором периоде. Словакия 8, Франция 10.
Встречаешь любые испытания. А как насчет твоего лица? Новый крем для лица Nivea Men создан специально для мужчин. Он эффективно увлажняет кожу и защищает ее от сухости. Новый мужской крем Nivea Men. Уверенность тебе к лицу. Поддержи свою команду с Nivea Men. Nivea Men – официальный спонсор чемпионата мира по хоккею.
С какой бы проблемой ни столкнулся ваш бизнес, у нас всегда найдется надежное решение.
Все о спорте. Здесь и сейчас. Новости, видео, интервью. Попади в точку. Чемпионат.ком. Чемпионат. Главное слово в спорте. Он всегда скрыт от взглядов. Его хватка не вызывает сомнений. Именно на нем все держится. И когда нужен результат, его обеспечит Церезит. За надежную хватку отвечает плиточный клей, а затирка за безупречный внешний вид. За результатом стоит Церезит. Качество для профессионалов.
Это больше, чем спортивная форма. Это знак почета, символ гордости. И когда они надевают его, они не просто игроки. Они атланты, несущие на плечах свою страну, равно сражаясь против лучших в мире. Имя на спине вам ничего не скажет. Главное – это герб на груди. Самые яркие звезды хоккея съедутся в Торонто, чтобы выяснить, чья сборная сильнее. Кубок мира по хоккею 2016. Билеты уже в продаже.
start the third period on the French bench as Florian Hardy takes over. Hardy plays for Dornbirn in the Austrian League and a .923 save percentage this year. Playing in a 6th World Championship for the French.
Goalkeeper change. Out of
So
goal.
UA
Number 39.
allows 4 goals on 17 shots by the Slovaks and gives way here in the third.
Команде Франции замена вратаря. Вместо Кристобаля Муэ, номер 39.
Mazzaros lines it ahead. Bankos sweeps it down to the French zone as the team begin the third period, 5-on-5. Rosier. Up ahead for Belmar. And Dudet Favel has it back for the French. Andre Mazzaros. Perfect National Hockey League career for him. 10 years in the league. Back problems derailed at the end. A couple of major back operations while playing for the Philadelphia Flyers. The first-round pick of the Ottawa Senators, right out of the Vancouver Giants, and made the Ottawa team as an 18-year-old. Marko Dano played just 24 seconds in that second period for the Slovaks. And they're a man short on the bench. Doesn't appear Dano was there, is he? Shakashvili comes in. Up there by Martinez. And moved ahead by the Slovaks. Viadensky. Got bumped off the puck. Mounier gave a hard whack there to Marinson. Thomas Yurko. In for Martinez, and the return pass for Yurko missed.
You know, the Slovakia short one player on the bench, and it would appear that it is Dano. After giving up a goal in the first minute, the Slovaks get on the board. Sekera and Granat score in the first period. Bakos on the power play, and 48 seconds later, Libor Hubacek scores, and that's it for Cristobal Ue. As you mentioned, Gord, Florian Hardy in goal for the French here in period 3.
Damien Rowe brings it in for the French. And Sacha Toy plays it down to the Slovak zone. Juraj Mikuš battling for it. The loss of Dano, if it's for any length of time, would be a tough one for the Slovaks, who have already short National Hockey League players. And Marchenko swings back with it. Mikuš plays it ahead for Marchenko, and icing called against the Slovaks. There is Zeno Seeger in his first year behind the bench for the Slovaks, a 7-year National Hockey League player. It's had some bumps in his first year for the Slovak national team. There were issues with getting players from North America. Richard Panik, in particular, the Chicago Blackhawks, is critical of the way they approached him. He's not here for the Slovaks.
And wanted to be here.
Yes. DaCosta, with both teams changing, has some room. And across the line he comes, and that's swept away for the moment by Christian Jaros. Krevetsky, great climb for Hudacek. Big hit in the corner, and Ivan Sparny had his helmet knocked off. He's got to go straight to the bench. It's a penalty under international rules if you play without your helmet on. And I think it was Julius Honka a couple years ago for the Finns.
I was just thinking of that play, Gordon.
Honka was playing in the World Junior Championship for Finland. He'd been playing in the American League that year. His helmet got knocked off. He stayed in the play. They were just a 2-minute minor.
They were already short-handed.
Yeah, and give him a goal with 2-man advantage. That was a key point in the game, too.
And he stopped for a second, but then continued to play. It was like he had forgotten the rule for a moment. It turned out to be a large error.
Martinez slides away to Lushnak. Lushnak in for Martinez. Just missed it. DeRosier up for Fleury. Damien Fleury works it. He centers it, and Belmar tipped that wide. DeRosier back with it. Taken away by Rivai. Lines that down in the French zone. And Hardy plays it ahead for DeRosier. Hardy either weighs 250 pounds or has some really big gear on. He's listed at 183, by the way.
Yeah, get a load at the shoulder pads on Hudacek down here, too. Looks like he's got the hanger still in them. Oh, there goes his mask again.
Second time in the game that his mask has come undone.
Oh, he's got to fix his glove. Guy needs a full-time trainer here. Whoa, that one right off the side. That's the same side where the buckle got knocked off the last time. But he's back up on his feet.
With the backup mask ready just in case, and he makes a quick save there off the face-off.
You can see his shoulder pads from here. Pretty gigantic.
Hudacek.
Maybe next year we'll get to that rule.
What's that?
They slowly start to whittle down some of the goalie
Yeah,
equipment.
well, they've talked about the National Hockey League, some reductions. Now walking in, a chance for Hudacek, deflected away by Dudet Pavel.
It's not as easy as it would appear. It's a pretty complicated process to get the stuff made, but basically what the guys are wearing now, because the rules are so lax, they can wear pants inside their pants, which is actually done.
So the National Hockey League will have an easier time doing it. How does the IIHF do it? You've got various federations. You're going to have different leagues with different rules.
And you're definitely going to be behind in the IIHF because you've got to get the gear made. And it's not like there's 15 gear manufacturers for goalies.
So who's going to measure? How are you going to go around and measure everybody? Now DaCosta in and rang off the hand of Hudacek.
Well, that'll be, I mean, you would think the tournament rules would be a lot easier to maintain than the multitude of leagues across Europe. It's going to be difficult enough if they just try to do it at the pro level, both in the American and the National League.
Which one has the DH?
Well, they're trying to get it into the National League, too. Although, when Bartolo Colon hits a home run,
as he did yesterday,
first time in his career,
41. It's hope for all of us.
The fact when he went back to the bench and there was nobody in the Mets dugout, that was awesome.
Belmar lost the puck, brought it by Stastny, feeds it across, and a great chance there for Luznak, turned away by Florian Hardy. 4-1 Slovakia leads here in the third period. Hudacek, who plays in the Swedish League, spent the last 4 years there, playing in his 5th World Championship for the Slovaks. His team ahead 4-1. Looking to run his record at 2-0 in this World Championship. We mentioned earlier they finished tough. Canada, Finland, and the U.S. to close it out. Together points against Hungary, France, Germany, and Belarus before they play the big teams. And that shot by Bakos deflects off a stick out of play.
Bakos, a power play goal in the second period as Slovakia stretched a 2-1 lead to 4-1 in 48 seconds. Bakos and then Libor Hudacek under a minute later.
Off the draw, Yurko in, shoots. Hardy makes a stop on that. The rebound pinballs around. Martinez gets a shot away. And the save is made again by Hardy.
Yudensky off the draw, a quick win back to Yurko. The shot stopped, and Yudensky gets to the net, looking for a rebound.
Draw one by Bozon. Overchu looking for it. Overchu leads the French in ice time per game at around 22 minutes a night. Jude Favel has passed, missed Sasha Troy, and played ahead neatly by Hudacek, who's not afraid to play it. A couple times he's quick up here in the game. Yudensky plays it ahead for Yurko, swings that through the crease. Sasha Troy gets to it and chips it out for the French. France been a long time in the B pool of the World Championship and qualified a decade ago. It should be pointed out this field has expanded from 12 to 14 to 16 teams, so the French benefit from that. And of course this year they cannot be relegated as the co-host next year with Germany. France will play their pool in Paris. The Germans in Cologne. The medal round will be in Cologne next year.
The difficulty for them, as you mentioned earlier, Gord, is turning over new players into the program, as they don't have great depth.
Brought in now and fired on goal by Clairot. And now brought back the other way by Drabetsky. He finds Herka. And Herka plays it around. Drabetsky couldn't reach it. Shakashvili to DaCosta. Fired down by Clairot, and that play was offside, and now a late bump on Hudacek from DaCosta again that Hudacek didn't appreciate.
DaCosta's a little frustrated here. This has gone on quite a bit tonight for him, where he's been involved after the whistle. He's had a high sticking penalty earlier in the period, and has the look of a guy that's out of gas, a little frustrated.
Barney back for it for Yaros. Across to Lushnak, tries to chip that out and a race for it as Belmar picks it up. Pierre-Edouard Belmar works it in for DeRosier. DeRosier with some room, feeds it back in front. Belmar tips it. Great save by Hudacek. And now the Slovaks break out 3-on-2. Brought in by Stastny. Tried to drop it back. That pass broken up by Giannis. And Giannis able to play it out to center ice. And knocked back in by Andre Stastny. Jonathan Janil plays for Bordeaux in the French league. His pregame meal's good there. And the shot right out. Hudacek makes the stop.
It's prepared by a cook or a chef. You didn't even hesitate there. There's Pierre-Edouard Belmar going to the net to deflect this pass from Clairot, or rather from DeRosier across the front of the net. Julius Hudacek slides across to make the stop.
And we say the difference between the National Hockey League and the American League is in the NHL they have chefs, in the AHL they have cooks.
That would be one of the differences.
Chan plays it in. Overchu. Back at the point. Drops it down to Meunier. Meunier's shot is blocked. And Mazzaro slips it away. Carré will open the scoring this game. 1 minute and 9 seconds in to give France the lead. Had it knocked away. Slovakia responded with 4 consecutive goals. And now a chance for the Slovaks again. Puck goes in, shoots. And the save made by Hardy. Florian Shakashvili, who plays for the French champions in Rouen. Drops it off for Bozon, who banks it down. Hudacek out to play, almost lost it. Loose in the corner. Bertrand plays it across. Viadensky in for the Slovaks. Viadensky from a sharp angle, tried to center it. Shakashvili knocked it away. And Bozon hands it back. Pass through the middle. Heinz Bertrand comes sneaking in, and Sakara knocks him off the puck. Past midway point of the third period, still 4-1 Slovakia. In Moscow, 4-1 Sweden leads Denmark. Sweden scored 4 times on the power play in the second period to take the lead there. Janil fires it down for France. And Hudacek quick up. He's got Trubetsky on the pass. Trubetsky works in. Peels back, waiting for help. Trubetsky still with it. And finally lost the puck to Rowe. One of those forwards playing defense for the French.
If you're scouting the Slovaks, you would have to pay attention and mark down that Hudacek loves to play the puck in goal. That's more than a couple times he's flung a long one up here on a change.
Played in by Janil. DeRosier looks for the loose puck. Trying to find Fleury with it. Top line back out for the French. And Stastny lost it to Belmar. Grania. One of the goal scorers for Slovakia. Sends it ahead to Bartanis. And Bartanis gets in behind Jujay Fidel. Wins the battle for the puck. Jujay Fidel centers it. Stastny couldn't reach it. Now held by Yaros. A long shot that hit Belmar up high. Yaros back with it. Bartanis plays it back down low to Lushnak and tangled up there with Florian Hardy in the French goal. Kovacic swings back with under 8 to go in the third period.
The French looked totally out of gas here. If they were ever going to make a push, it was going to be early in the period. They certainly didn't get helped by their power play in the second period, but right now, they just look like they have nothing left. Certainly much easier to defend when you're tired than it is to create. And right now, the French just don't have the giddy up to create chances.
Mazaros through the middle for Revive. In comes Bakos, that's knocked away. Bakos on the goal line for Slovakia. Works around Shakashvili, wraps it around, feeds it back to Revive. For Mazaros, winds and shoots, he pounded that line. Back problems or no, Mazaros hasn't lost that shot. Revive back with it, Mazaros pitches in. And he and Revive crisscross, back at the point. Serson, a long shot, goes up a couple of skates and wide. And Mounier picks it up, has some room as the Slovaks are changing. Third of 3 games here today. Canada beat Hungary 7-1 in the first one. Finland beat Germany 5-1 in the second. It's a 4-1 lead for Slovakia over France here. On the other side, Russia beat Kazakhstan in a crazy game 6-4 in Moscow in the opener. 3-3 after the first period in that one. And Switzerland scored a tying goal with less than 15 seconds left in the third period to force overtime with Norway, but the Norwegians won in a overtime on a power play goal, 4-3, and Sweden with a 4-1 lead, 5-1 now in the third on Denmark. Bozon, lead pass for Ritz, that's knocked down. Long time between whistles here in the third period. Grandyak. Cross to Drevetsky. Ritz steps into him, Drevetsky still with it. Loose in the corner, banks it back. Yaros holds for Marinson. Back to Yaros. Now Machinko with a long shot. Bartanis tries to knock it in. And Ritz picks it back up for the French. Gets steamrolled there by Yaros and then Bozon. Backhanded back down the Slovak zone. First man there was Perrault, and the long shot got blocked. Graniak picks it up and feeds it across to Svarny. Christian Yaros slides it back, and Ivan Svarny has it. Played for 2 years for Belleville in the Ontario League. Like a lot of these young Slovak players, for a long time, most of Slovakia's top players played major junior in North America. 4:47 to go in the third period. Slovakia leads France 4-1. Slovaks are celebrating here with a 4-1 lead. 4:47 to go in the third period.
How does he breathe in that mask? That thing was tight.
Yeah, so was that sweater. It's the only goalie in the world with a sweater that's too tight. Although, the Finnish goaltender, Mikko Koskinen, has one that is perpetually too short. Looks like he's wearing a kid's sweater.
The Finns are, by the way, the Finns are always well dressed when they come in. You think somebody could tailor up that jersey a bit for them.
Rosier centers it. Fleury gets knocked down. That'll be a penalty against Slovakia, so the French are going to power play with 4:26 to go in the third period. Looking calm. And off goes Christian Jaros.
A couple of penalties for Jaros today, both of them pretty physical penalties. That, I don't know if there was a hooking penalty, but just 20 years old. The 139th pick by Ottawa last year in the draft. There's something there. It's physical. He can move a bit.
So we've talked about the fact that a lot of Slovaks used to play their junior hockey in North America. Well, Jaros is an exception. He has spent almost his entire career to this point in Sweden. Moved there as a youngster. So a number of avenues, but the Slovaks have a program called Team Orange where they gather their best junior age players together. They play against the Slovak extra league clubs, and then the core of that team plays in the World Junior Tournament. It's produced some decent results of the junior, and the first 4 Orange players are here for the Slovaks at the World Championship.
And for the program, hopefully that's something that can grow a little bit. They can build a little momentum.
Well, the idea is when your best players stay home, it makes a lot of players better. Fleury on winds and knocks that wide. Imagine you took the best 20 players out of the Western League, the Ontario League, or the Quebec League. What effect it would have on the league as a whole.
I mean, we know that's one of the reasons why the junior leagues don't want their young, the players that we talk about that are too good for junior, not good enough, or not old enough for the NHL, that they can't be sent to the American League. They want them back in junior league for very obvious reasons.
Already back forth with a talking by a leaping Baron. Saakashvili with it. 45 seconds to go on the French power play. Baron flips it ahead. And look out, way out to play it is Hudacek. Got tied up there for a moment, but the Slovaks are able to clear it. Goes into the French bench. And the faceoff will come back down to the Slovak end.
You can see, as I mentioned earlier, about the lack of energy left for the French, that they're on the power play. They can't even get to the puck. They need a day off. That's coming tomorrow for them. And as you mentioned earlier, Gord, a big game on Tuesday against Hungary.
We were the stars of this Sunday. If you haven't seen it yet, on tsn.ca, and you must see the Hungarian fans after the handshake lineup and the Canadian anthem. Hungarians lined up and their fans sang them the national anthem. Tremendous moment. Thousands of them made the journey from Hungary to come here to cheer on their team. At no small cost, by the way.
A significant commitment for them financially to make the trip.
Power play is over as Yarrow steps back on. Belmar centers it for Fleury, bounces it behind the goal. And DeRosier has it back. DeRosier's center pass knocked down. 3-on-1 now for the Slovaks. Yurko centers it. In comes Viadensky back in. Yarrow scores! Yarrow fires it home past the sprawling Florian Hardy.
I'm not sure he knew that was in, or...
Well, a lot of people didn't. But it did go in the net.
What a play by Viadensky. He's had a really, really good game here for the Slovaks. Yurko intercepts the pass, little dish to Viadensky, and he leaves it for Jaros.
Hit the camera.
Who runs into Yurko while he's at it. We talked about Jaros having a physical game. That's 3 assists here for Viadensky. And Jaros puts this into the middle of the net.
That replay angle should be pretty good for the cam, at least briefly.
Couple points for Yurko, 3 for Viadensky, and it's 5-1.
You mentioned Jaros, an intriguing prospect. Plays for Luleå in the Swedish league.
Like the way that he's played the first couple of games of the tournament. He's a simple player, a stay-at-home player for the most part, been very physical, and here he gets a rare goal.
Did not score in 25 games this year in the Swedish league.
Patient.
Saved him for the big moment. So Slovaks the 5-1 lead. Trubetsky picks it up. Drops it back off for Sekera. And Yorick Troy with it. Under 90 seconds to go in the third period. Well, you've done this before, but this is the end of my first triple header.
And?
Well, first weekend of triple headers.
And what do you think?
Well, I'm glad
it's a lot of work, eh?
I'm glad you're such an excellent analyst, Ray.
Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. When you were going through the scores of earlier today, I was having a tough time remembering the middle game, which was 2.5 hours ago.
The action began here 10.5 hours ago. Triple headers on the weekend of this World Championship. Back to 2 games tomorrow. Canada takes on Belarus at 4 o'clock local time, 9 o'clock Eastern. Followed by Finland against the United States at 8 local time, 1 p.m. Eastern.
I got to say, Gord, of all the people I could have spent 10.5 hours with, you're one of them.
Well, I appreciate that, Ray. I know that comes from the middle of your heart. And a happy Mother's Day to all of you back in Canada.
Oh, you betcha. Happy Mother's Day to everyone, and certainly happy Mother's Day to Cammie, who's holding the fort.
And to Sarah back home. And time winds down here in the third period. The Slovaks will celebrate. They're 2-0 at the World Hockey Championship with a 5-1 win over France. The French with a shootout win and now a loss on their dock. Will take on Hungary on Tuesday. The Slovaks will play Germany.
Финальный счет. Франция 1, Словакия 5. Shots on goal on the third period. Slovakia 5, France 6. Shots on goal on the entire game. Slovakia 22, France 25. Броски по воротам в третьем периоде. Словакия 5, Франция 6. Броски за весь матч. Slovakia 22, Франция 25. The best players of each team will be awarded by Raiffeisen Bank International, official sponsor of the 2016 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. Дамы и господа, Райфайзен Интернациональ Банк, официальный спонсор чемпионата мира по хоккею 2016 в России, учредил специальные призы лучшим игрокам матча. The prize will be presented by Luke Tardy, IIHF Council Member. Приз вручает Люк Тарди, член Совета Международной Федерации хоккея на льду. The best player of Team France, number 28, Демьен Ро. Лучший игрок в команде Франции, номер 28, Демьен Ро. The prize will be presented by Agustin Cesar, General Consul Slovak Republic in St. Petersburg. Приз вручает Августин Чезар, генеральный консул Словакии в Санкт-Петербурге. The best player of Team Slovakia, number 33, Julius Kudacek. Лучший игрок в команде Словакия, номер 33, Julius Kudacek.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of today's game winner, Slovakia. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm thanks to volunteers who help in the organization of these games. Дамы и господа, мы благодарим волонтеров за помощь в организации матчей чемпионата мира по хоккею в Санкт-Петербурге.
когда все уходит на второй план, и нас объединяет одно.
Это наша игра, потому что хоккей в каждом из нас. Шкода – генеральный спонсор чемпионата мира по хоккею.
Ставим. Счет. Франция 1, Словакия 5. Словакия 22, France 25. Shots on goal on the third period.
И болельщики, и хоккеисты. Здесь каждый старается за всех сил и выкладывается на полную. Поэтому мы поддерживаем чемпионат мира по хоккею уже много лет. И вкладываемся в тех, кто вкладывается. Райфайзенбанк. Разница в отношении.
Introducing the 2016 IIHF Anthem. Player statistics. Team statistics. Live updates. And introducing Hockey Cards. Your face, your team, your car. Share it with hockey fans across the world. From any smart device in your own language. The 2016 IIHF app, powered by Skoda.
Skoda. Simply clever.
Pirelli. I0. Новая шина Pirelli I0 с уникальной технологией двойного шипа DualStat. Отличное сцепление и торможение на льду. Зимние шины Pirelli. Будь готов к русской зиме. Pirelli. I0.
Автоматизация складской логистики, не имеющая аналогов в Восточной Европе. Собственный товарный знак «Автозапчасти Патрон» с 2004 года. Товарный знак «Патрон» зарегистрирован в 21 стране мира. Автозапчасти Патрон. Побеждаем вместе. Наш лед. Наша скорость. Наша надежность. Наш характер.
наша поддержка, наши победы. Это наша игра, это наш хоккей, и это у нас не отнять. Ингустрах, официальный партнер чемпионата мира по хоккею 2016 года.